Hello, welcome to the follow-up session from the Arizona Blockathon from February the 3rd, 2018. My name is Jay Carpenter. I am one of the members of the Arizona Blockathon.us group, as well as I am the founder of Desert Blockchain. And I am delighted to be presenting today and talking to you from the first Desert Blockchain Camp, number 1, which is at 1325 Grand Avenue in Phoenix, Arizona, 85007. We will be operating from this location from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. until Saturday, April the 7th, and possibly beyond from there. This is designed to be an innovative blockchain collaborative space, as well as a way that you can come and present your potential use cases with your business and your organization and how blockchain might impact your business. And if you're interested, we can help you build a use case and document a use case so that you can consider what the strengths and weaknesses of blockchain implementation might be for your business, your industry, or your organization. So let me just, hey Jason, welcome. I'm gonna give you a little tour of the first Desert Blockchain Camp, and we've been here today, and this is basically Grand Avenue. This is in the heart of the Arts District, and
It's closed.
everything's closed? What do you mean?
The restaurants are closed.
Oh, the restaurants are all closed?
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you pull up a chair and join in? Jason's on here. So,
Maybe I know Jason.
yeah. And let me grab a speaker so it'll be easier to hear Jason. So before we get into the follow-up session, I'm going to do a little screen share so we can talk about the new use case program. Jason, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm going to do a little screen share for those, because I'm going to probably send this out to everybody. And let me talk about this. So this is the first Your Business and Blockchain Explore Custom Use Cases. This is a new program. This is different than our normal sessions, which are basically free and open to just about anybody. This is more of a consulting session where if you have a use case you'd like to consider for your business, industry, or organization, you can come to the Desert Blockchain Camp and work with us to, over about a 2-hour period, to create a use case that you can keep for yourself, or if you want to submit your use case to the next Arizona Blockathon.us event, which will be April the 28th, 2018, you can do that, and it's possible that the teams will adopt your use case and start a prototype and possibly work with you on a part-time basis over up to a 6-month period to build a prototype for your particular use case that you're interested in. So that's a new program. This is $250, which is 2 hours at $125 per hour. And it's a 2.5-hour session. The first 30 minutes is basically an introduction. I'm going to stop screen sharing here. So the first 30 minutes is an introduction, and you'll find out the different aspects of the building the blockchain, the use case, And if you decide at the end of the 30 minutes that this isn't the right program for you, you can basically leave at that point, and your funds will be refunded. So if you have any questions or you're interested in this, you can email me, jcarpenter@desertblockchain.com. So anyway, that's all about the new use case building and custom use case proposal and documentation. So Jason, I've been working with Daniel today, and he's done a lot of studying, and I think he's, really well versed at this point in the blockchain space. And you just built a ERC20 token today. So he's got some questions about the ERC20. I told him you were a resource to find out more about that and some of the different dimensions. Daniel is not a coder, so that's what Daniel's been working on today, as well as we've been setting up the camp here. So, and by the way, Daniel has a space available for a coder, basically partner in the camp. So if anybody's interested in that, that would give you all the ability to come down anytime and work here at the Desert Blockchain Camp, and basically share Daniel's space if you'd like to do that, and basically go from there. So that's still open. Jason, anything you'd like to talk about, or Daniel, anything you'd like to talk about or say about what's been going on?
Yes, I have some concerns about the security about the coding language, because I don't understand it very good. So I will be researching in the next days in order to understand better the Solidity language. So if someone want to join us to a coder want to collaborate with me, it'll be a pleasure for me.
Great. And by the way, this is bare bones basic that you're seeing here. We don't have any of the infrastructure in place. Tomorrow we're going to be working on the infrastructure. And please keep in mind, this whole camp is an experiment. But I'm really, really pleased with the way it's coming together. So even though it looks a little rough right now. So Jason, anything you want to say about Solidity or what you're working on? Anything that might help Daniel at this point?
So as far as Solidity goes, as far as the ERC20 token standards and such go, to be honest, I've had quite a bit of time looking into all of these different token standards, from ERC20 to 23, which prevents certain types of lost funds, 777, which is like an advanced token standard, 721, which is the non-fungible kind of CryptoKitty, was the one who created that one. As far as tokens and the Ethereum platform are concerned, generally, I personally feel strongly that most ERC20 type implementations are kind of going to struggle going forward. They need, the problem with ERC20s is that they don't have like this ability to dial outwards. So when people send tokens to one another, what they're really doing is they're sending Ether to a location, a smart contract. And in doing so, they're instructing that smart contract. They're saying, okay, I want to assign 50 of my tokens from my public key. I want to decrement that. And then I want to increment some other person's address, their public key by 50 tokens. The problem with that is that kind of relies, it forces all communication for any kind of applications to communicate directly with this thing, so that it can be like the kind of like it's like a you, or we'll call you versus I'll call you type thing, where if you can give a token an outward dialing ability, you can get things like atomic swaps. You can get things like tokens that act like ether. You can get all kinds of interesting qualities that are kind of like were flaunted around, I think when ERC20 came around, but just kind of like turns out none of this is really possible with ERC20s. However, it's definitely possible with some of these new standards that are kind of like out in the EIP process right now, like the 777, just the one that can do this outward dialing ability. So I would encourage anybody who's trying to look into tokens today to start there. Start with the 777 or the 721, which is the non-fungible. I think there's a lot of possibilities with those two approaches. If you have tokens that have distinguishable qualities, even if they need fungible attributes rather than non-fungible, you can achieve all kinds of like semi or quasi fungible attributes by these interesting little hacks. You can achieve things like building consensus models and reward programs and staking models and all kinds of other stuff inside of these like non-fungible type tokens, which is very interesting. And I feel like it opens up possibilities for anybody wanting to do like more experimental consensus, like applications around consensus models or staking models or really anything. So that's what I would say is anybody looking into those tokens, check out those types of implementations first.
Do you have any questions about that, Daniel?
I have to do my own research to understand the other kind of topic that he mentioned.
721 and the 777. Yeah. What is the status on the 777, Jason? Is that
there's a pull request open for it. So all the stuff I've done for Nori and CryptoPal leverages 777. So I've got full implementations working with those. But even the one there's a pull request open for 777 into the EIP repo, meaning it's being requested formal review from the Ethereum community, from everybody saying, hey, take a look at this thing, see if there's any flaws, etc. There's still definitely a couple flaws, a couple bugs, I think, that were not quite thought through, but there's definitely some workarounds that can be done. As far as using it in production, I think it's definitely, I mean, it's advantageous to use that versus 20 for sure. And then I think 721 is accepted, so I think it is a standard now.
And this week you were, you joined part of the Ethereum. What was it? Will you explain what happened this week?
The Ethereum Enterprise Alliance. So Nori was accepted into the EEA, the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance, and I have been made Nori's kind of point person for Ethereum standards, specifically in the energy type or energy/commodity type tokens or smart contract standards, technical standards.
And for those that aren't familiar with Nori, that's NORI.com. So you can go to N as in Nancy, O as in Oscar, R as in Robert, I as in Idaho.com and find out more about Nori. It's an awesome project, and there's an awesome team behind it. And you know, we're fortunate to have Jason in town, who's one of the core people behind Nori. So, anything else you want to go over, Jason?
So when are you rolling out the RVs behind you?
Well, tomorrow we're going to experiment with a truck. I've come up with a configuration using trucks as the centerpiece, and then we'll circle those with RVs. Somebody just volunteered an Airstream today, which sounds pretty cool. So I don't know for sure, but stay tuned. this Friday, which is First Fridays, there's going to be a car rally here at 1325 Grand Avenue. And we will be here until 10 o'clock at least. But I encourage people to come down and check out the car rally and also check out the Desert Blockchain Camp in whatever state it's in at that point. There will definitely be more here. So it's basically piece by piece. I'm delighted to have Daniel here and get to know him and find out what his interests and passions are. They're very much aligned with mine. Keep an eye out for the RVs. And tomorrow we got some awesome people that are coming by. I'm excited about that. There'll be more about that later on. So we will be RVing, we will be camping. We are truly camping here, and this has amazing potential. So, any questions, Jason?
No questions on that.
Cool. Well, why don't we wrap it up? Daniel, you have anything? Cool. All right. Well, hopefully you can stop by a few times this week, Jason, and see what's going on. So, Julian unfortunately was wrapped up at work, so he couldn't join us today. And it's my intention to get out the link earlier. I apologize for being so late today. So, anyway, we'll wrap it up. Again, if you have any questions, contact me, Jay Carpenter, at desertblockchain.com. And thanks for tuning in. And we will we will have another session like this at 5:30 on Monday the 9th, Arizona time, April the 9th. So stay tuned and look forward to you joining us again. Goodbye.
Talk to you later.